You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Amy McGorry. A retired FDNY captain is expected to plead not guilty in a deadly attack in a church parking lot. Police say 66-year-old James Rogers punched 65-year-old Mark Iacono multiple times. Iacono was pronounced dead at the hospital. Rogers' lawyer said the two men knew each other and were at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting before the fight. It happened in a church parking lot on East Main Street in Bayshore last night. President Donald Trump wants an immediate ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine following his argument with the Ukrainian president at the White House today.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country.
Volodymyr Zelenskyy left the White House without signing a minerals deal. Trump suggested that deal was a condition for future support for Ukraine. Bird flu cases are on the rise across Long Island, according to Cornell Wildlife Health Lab. You're looking at a beach in Patchogue where dozens of dead birds were found. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation officials say bird flu was the likely cause of death. There have been 176 suspected cases of bird flu in Suffolk and 38 in Nassau since late January. The Ponquag Bridge is set to reopen for limited travel. The bridge will be open for vehicles up to 5 tons, bicycles and pedestrians. The State Department of Transportation shut the bridge down after it found structural deterioration. It will open early next week. And now here's a look at tomorrow's weather. It will be a beautiful day for those St. Patty's Day parades Saturday, starting out pretty mild in the 40s, but then things start to get warmer as we approach the afternoon. Temperatures reaching the mid to 50s. At night, still staying mild. Not a bad day to go out there and celebrate. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast in just a few moments.
I'm NewsdayTV meteorologist Bill Corbell, and we just learned that the Associated Press is reporting hundreds of jobs terminated at NOAA. That's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, provider of all of the weather information we use. There's a question of how this might affect us in the future, and there are many areas NOAA is involved in. One, of course, is local forecasting, especially severe forecasting of thunderstorms and tornadoes and even hurricanes, but it goes beyond that. NOAA and the National Weather Service coordinate with local municipalities for storm preparedness. It's involved in commercial operations, forecasting for fishermen offshore, airlines, and pilots in general. Also, think of shipping, all the ground transportation now with Amazon and UPS and Federal Express, trucks all over, all impacted by the weather. There are also national concerns because the Air Force and Navy have their own meteorologists, but they depend upon the National Weather Service for the basic data. The National Weather Service operates the massive computers that give us our forecast, the radar systems, the satellites orbiting overhead. If there's a cutback in people who maintain them, that could be a problem. Certainly a situation that we're going to have to watch closely and see how it all works out.
All right, well, 2 town supervisors are calling out cannabis retailers. Sherry Ihorn has that story.
If people want to smoke and it's legal, let them smoke.
Recreational marijuana is legal in New York State. Local governments were able to opt out of allowing dispensaries within their borders. All 3 towns in Nassau County did that. But shops are allowed here in Queens, right along the Nassau border.
I do use the dispensaries. I like them a whole lot better than buying from people on the streets.
Some Nassau County and state lawmakers are now pushing for new legislation that would create some space. Basically, the bill would create a quarter-mile buffer zone between Queens, where pot shops are allowed, and neighboring Nassau County, where they're not.
This is a loophole that needs to be addressed by our legislators. You know what? We can't have these kind of shenanigans taking place where people are opening these shops on the borders.
Shop manager Sid Patel says he's running a legit business where everything is tracked and monitored by the state.
Nassau County residents are not prisoner of Nassau County. They can go all the way to Manhattan and buy anything, or they can even cross state limit.
In a statement to Newsday, a spokesman for the Queensborough president said, in part, These officials are obviously spending their money in our borough's cannabis shops because they must be high if they think Nassau County has any right to legislate what kind of licensed business can open here in Queens County. If the state legislation passes, it would also apply to other bordering municipalities that have the same conflict over dispensaries. A spokesman for the town of Babylon, which does allow them, tells Newsday in a statement, in part, our position would be that another municipality can't tell us what to do in our borders.
It's an issue for every community around the state that has opted out.
I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Before a hometown crowd in Westbury, Sheila Bino made history this year when she was sworn in as the first Black New York State Senator to represent Long Island in the Chamber's 247-year history. For the Democrat who represents the 6th District, it was a humbling moment.
It was shocking to me that in 247 years, we had not had a Black senator serve Long Island. So once you got past the shock of it all, the feeling I just keep coming back to is just being humbled.
As a young girl growing up here on Eastfield Road in Westbury, Bino says her greatest inspiration was her mother, Dolores.
She also was in public service, and she worked for New York City Health and Hospitals. She helped some folks change the trajectory of their life, and through that, I was inspired to do public service.
In 2010, Bino was elected to the Westbury School District's Board of Education. 4 years later, she won a seat on the Nassau County Legislature, where she served for 10 years. Bino takes pride in fighting hard for the needs of her community.
You're serving a large constituency with varying needs, and it really just keeps you focused on trying to make sure that each day you leave the day with having created some opportunity to make it better for someone else.
During her first term in the state Senate, Bino says she's working on legislation to create a moratorium on charter schools in Hempstead and improving infrastructure in her district.
We don't give up, we keep fighting.
The newly minted state senator is also focused on mentoring youth because she hopes her historic first in Albany won't be the last.
I'm hopeful that young people can realize by my opportunity to serve in this position that they too can serve in positions where you don't traditionally see Black people or even women for that matter.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Oh my God, this is my holy grail. This is my absolute favorite marmalade in the world. Shivers Old English Marmalade.
Wegmans has arrived on Long Island.
Where to go? Where to go?
You can buy all your regular groceries and household goods here, but it pretty much satisfies all your specialty needs as well. I'm Newsday food writer Erica Marcus, and here are my 5 tips for shopping Long Island's newest, biggest supermarket.
They've got stuff you don't usually see in a supermarket. Spicy chili crisp. We've got a really good collection of Asian rices here. Short grain rice that you would use for sushi. This is sort of a famous brand of jasmine rice, 3 Elephants. We have a lot of cheese to get through. Robiolo from the north of Italy, one of my favorite cheeses. 2 great American cheeses. Whenever you buy Parmigiano Reggiano, you want to make sure you see the stippling on the rind, and you'll see a little bit of it on every single piece. They tell me that they have anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 different varieties of beer here. It's not brands, it's varieties. Do some local brews. You can also craft your own six-pack. This is an extremely impressive lineup of coffees. We got Counterculture, Stumptown, La Colombe, Intelligentsia. So this is something I love to see. Lots of frozen fruit. If you're cooking with it or you're putting it in a smoothie, you know, it's going to taste better than fresh fruit. And now this is fantastic. These are tart cherries. This is what you want to make your cherry pie with. This is another holy grail for me. Frozen pearl onions. When you're cooking them in a stew, you can't tell that they're frozen.
With its selection and variety, Wegmans is truly a one-stop shop.
Oh, wow. Have you ever seen such beautiful flowers in a supermarket?
The store also has an impressive array of prepared foods, so stay tuned. We'll be exploring that soon.
I think I could spend the entire day inside that store. Well, hopefully you won't be spending a lot of time inside and get outside. Let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast. Saturday, a beautifully mild day, temperatures in the mid-50s. Now Sunday, if you are going to one of those St. Patrick's Days on Sunday, break out the green scarves and the green gloves. It is definitely a lot colder there on Sunday with temperatures dropping down to the mid-30s. They're going to hang around in that area early in the week, but then as the week progresses, so does the temperatures. Getting a bit warmer with temperatures going up to the mid-50s, and you may want to break out that umbrella on Wednesday as we may see some rain in this area.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. For more on all of these stories you've seen today, just head on over to Newsday.com and click Get More under the Newsday TV video box. I'm Amy McGorry. Thanks for joining us.